Hello and welcome to this week's Live Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. On today's show, I'll be chatting to the insanely talented singer-songwriter and all-round lovely bloke, Sam Hinds. We'll be chatting about his inspirations, his music, and finding out about the man behind the music. And as always, we'll have plenty of homegrown music by local bands, all in the next hour. Hello, I hope you're all well and staying away from any nasty viruses and not sweltering too much in this lovely, lovely temperature that we find ourselves with at the moment. Okay, so what better way to start today's show off with some Arcades, who I saw last in the Together Festival in sunny Leicester back in February 2020. So I look forward to them coming back on the scene again. Here's Arcades Grand Rouge.
Sucking on my lemonade, watching the stars in the skies and how they fade away. Protesters robbing cause the smoke is still smiling, and the future is a-coming, and I can't see the wood through the trees. On my knees, French cuisine, big red limousine, kinda like it, kinda love it, but secretly I'm into you. Table tap, I can't sit still. Too busy in the back, popping those pills. Emotions, yeah. Little by little, the bird makes his nest. And 25, she's a red hot mess. And I see silky smooth, silky clean, Grand Rouge. Let's stay the night. Hold your ticket tight. Be at one together. Take the journey far.
That was Arcades and Grand Rouge. Of course, we spoke to Tommy from the band here at Live Local and Loud back in October at the end of last year, and they don't seem to have done much since, actually, looking at their Facebook page. Anyway, next up on Live Local and Loud, let's have the crazy, crazy, crazy tunes of the Bellatones, Soul Castaway.
Soul. She left nothing behind, left you tongue-tied. cast away. My soul was cast away down to the river, oh, down to the sea. My soul was cast away down to the river, oh, down to the sea. Soul cast away, soul cast away, soul cast away. Went back to my hometown at the end of the day. I stopped at the crossroads where my heart lay. Went back to my hometown and I started to pray. I stopped at the crossroads where my heart lay. My soul cast away, my soul, my soul, my soul cast away.
That was festival favourites, Bellatones and Soul Castaway, another band who haven't put anything on their Facebook page for over a year, I suppose. Of course, lots of these bands prefer Instagram and other social media outlets instead of Facebook. So let's have a little bit of Blab Happy. Here's Inside Out.
We held it out endlessly sometimes. You touched the part of me. What you knew, what you felt, what you whispered close to me. I knew you would undo me.
That was Blab Happy and Inside Out. Now let's have a little border from last year, Strangers. That was Border and Strangers. Okay, now it's time for this week's interview where I shall be chatting to the wonderful singer-songwriter Mr. Sam Hinds. But first of all, we shall start off with the title track from his EP, Rolling Stone.
My home. Mama was a free bird flying, Papa was a rolling stone, and I got caught in between like a feather in a hurricane, and it damn near drove me insane. So I took the morning flight out on my own. Took off as a broken man, but landed with a newfound hope. I spent a couple of weeks just drifting around the coast like a summer breeze. While I was young, wild and free. skies in England, out in the land of the brave, sliding down the highway sideways, saddled up in this one-horse race, leaving nothing much behind but the glare of my rear tail lights. Oh, I'm fading in and out of sight like a ghost behind the county lines. When it's going on like this is wrong, I don't wanna be right. Whoa. Ragged rear wheels kept turning strong, it had me traveling wayward on through where I'd never gone. Right through Heartbreak City, I took a left on through late downtown. But the more I looked for love, the less I found. Running from the cold gray skies in England, out in the land of the brave, we're sliding down the highway sideways, saddled up in this one-horse race, leaving nothing much behind but the glare of my rear tail lights. I'm fading in and out of sight like a ghost behind the county lines. We're going on like this is wrong, I don't wanna be right. Whoa. You don't know me long enough to call me a friend. Here before a second, I'm gone again, gone again. Oh, and I won't stick around. No, my feet won't ever touch the ground. Oh, I'm a road-bound man, and I won't be held down. Mama was a free bird flying, Papa was a rolling stone.
That was Rolling Stone by Sam Hinds here on Live Local and Loud, and in this week's interview I'm chatting to the very young Sam himself, complete with his amazing voice. Hello there, Sam. Thank you for joining me today. How are you?
No problem. I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Excellent. Yes, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Now, wow, yeah, we've just played Rolling Stone. That's a beautiful little ditty there. How did that song come about?
Well, it was a little bit of an interesting one, to be fair. It was it came about from a kind of experience I had reconnecting with one of my old friends. So I hadn't spoke to him for a number of years, and we finally reconnected a couple of years ago now. And he just filled me in on his life, and he had a massive adventure, and we basically packed up and left to go and live in the States.
Wow.
And yeah, and he was telling me all about that and the adventures he'd had, and how he was kind of leaving everything behind here to go and find himself and have a bit of an experience and a spiritual journey and all of that kind of stuff. And because I'd not spoke to him in years, and we'd reconnected, and I kind of absorbed his story and lived vicariously through it a little bit, I was just inspired to write a song. And so yeah, it's based around his experience and the reasons that he did what he did and his kind of journey. And that's the song about him traveling and exploring who he is in a different country.
Okay, so that's like the title track off your EP then, is that right?
Yes, yeah, that's the top one, the first track, the title track.
Okay, is that a new EP? Or that was your last EP? That was end of last year, is that right?
Yes, that came out on the 27th of November last year. So yeah, that's my debut EP, and then the first full set of tracks and project that I kind of put out in a professional manner, and kind of my first statement as an artist, if you will.
Wow, it's amazing. I must admit, I really love it. I've listened to the whole EP. It's really good. I can see slightly different types of music on there, like acousticy, country sort of thing. Where'd you get your influences from?
Yeah, so I guess it is predominantly kind of country influenced, a bit more kind of modern country than the traditional stuff. But to be honest, I listen to a massive variety of stuff, and I always have. Everything from classic rock through to modern and traditional country, and then folk stuff. But I guess in terms of artists, my main influences are probably Chris Stapleton for his songwriting and his voice, John Mayer again for songwriting and just his whole kind of evolution as an artist.
Right.
And Brothers Osborne, like a proper southern rock country band from the States as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I've just been totally blown away by the videos on your Facebook page, because I see you've done some videos. You've covered some of your favourite songs. Where did the idea for that come about? How did that come about?
I guess just in lockdown, having not many gigs on, and not being able to get out and see people and play live. It was just kind of made sense to do a few little covers and do a few videos and post that on my socials, just for someone to see the kind of stuff that I do, and hear my voice and get a bit of an idea of me as an artist. It's just my way of reaching out, I guess, when I couldn't actually physically get out.
Do you think you might put those on an EP as well?
Potentially, yeah. I'm open to the idea in the future. Yeah,
I thought they were really good.
Oh, thank you. I want to. They're only short snippets, so I'm thinking about doing full videos and full versions of the tracks. Probably putting them on YouTube and yeah, potentially releasing some at some date.
Now, I'm being very complimentary about your voice and your music. Do you ever get any negative comment?
No, not
Would you
be bombastic, not to my face. Anyway. No, I think the feedback from the EP, like I said, it was the first thing that I've kind of a big project that I put a lot of time and effort into, and putting that out there, the response and the feedback from everyone that heard it was amazing. So that's the only thing I can take away from that, really.
Okay, Sam, let's play the second song, Never Be the Same. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, so Never Be the Same. It's a little bit more southern rock than it is country. So it's got a bit more aggression and a bit more of a driving backbeat and heavy guitars. And it's about when you're going through a bit of a dark period in your life and you're kind of unsure of who you are yourself, and you make a conscious effort to change that and move away from the things that you don't want and focus on what you do want. And you never want to be the same in certain aspects. And that's the kind of gist of it. Okay,
brilliant. So here's Never Be the Same by Sam Hinds.
I spent too long whiskey drinking, taking but never giving. I had to pray just to be forgiven. Or something had to change to get me out of my own way. I went down to the water to wash away the sins. Folded my clothes on the muddy riverbank and waded out deeper than my feet could stand. But before I sank my head, I said, I don't ever, ever, ever wanna be the same. I don't ever grown tired of looking down, casting blame around this old town. So I went down to the water to wash away the sins, folding my clothes on the mighty river bank, and waded out deeper than my feet could stand. But before I sank my head, I said, I don't ever, ever, ever wanna be the same. I don't ever wanna have to make the same mistakes. Is it too late, too late, too late for me to change? I don't ever, ever, ever wanna be the same. I don't ever wanna have to make the same mistakes. Is it too late, too late, too late for me to change?
That was Never Be the Same by Sam Hinds, who I'm chatting to today here on Live, Local and Loud. Sam, so that's from your first EP. What are you working on at the moment? Is there number 2 on the way, if you'll pardon the
Yes.
expression?
Yeah, I'm currently working on a a new EP. It's going to be a bit of a bigger project, so there's going to be more songs on it. It's going to be about 7 tracks, and yeah, I'm currently working on it. So I've just had last week I just had a full week in the studio, and I'm kind of back in over the next couple of months, in and out, getting bits finished and tied up for it. But I'm hoping
Brilliant.
to release the first single closer to the end of the year, and then it'll be released as singles, and then it'll be combined in a EP form when all the tracks are released. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Oh, okay. So are you a full-time musician, or do you do a job on the side as well?
Not at the minute. I have a 9 to 5 working for a local house builder, but I would love to be a full-time musician in whatever capacity that is, as soon as possible, because it's what drives me, what gets me out of bed every day, and it's the ever-present thought and feeling in my heart and my soul. So it's what I want to do full-time, if possible.
Wow, but that's a brave step to make, I suppose, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But I think nothing worth having in life comes easy. So I think it's a risk.
That's very true.
Hopefully it's worth it and it pays off.
Okay, so we've just had lockdowns, etc., and we're going to be unlocked shortly. Oh, I think yes, a couple of. Actually, by the time this interview goes out, we would have been unlocked.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So how do you? So you spent most of your lockdown time doing your covers of your favourite songs, and releasing your EP. I suppose you released your EP at the end of last year, so that was in lockdown.
Yeah.
So how do you think things are going to be like, well, when we've unlocked? Do you think it'll damage the music industry at all, or do you think we'll carry on where we've left off?
I think there's going to be negatives and positives. Hopefully people will kind of come out in their droves, and everyone will go to live music events because they've missed it, and they can now. But I know a lot of venues have been damaged quite severely, with obviously no events and being closed for a long time.
Have you actually played at any socially distanced gigs yet?
Yes, so I did a gig a few weeks ago at The Musician in Leicester.
Wow.
And that was socially distanced. It was ticketed, and they had all the tables spread out, and people were all distanced, and all your face masks and coverings and stuff. But it was brilliant. It was really really good just to be in a room with people again. And
Mm.
there was a band there, and it didn't really make a difference too much, to be honest. Obviously, you've not got people standing up and dancing and getting involved and crowding round, but it was nice. It was an intimate kind of setting, and
Yeah.
it was still good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I suppose at the musician, they tend to put the tables out anyway, and when they have acoustic gigs there, don't they?
Yeah,
So I suppose it's pretty similar, except you've got perspex dividers and things, haven't you? There, I seem to remember. Yeah,
yeah, between tables. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay, brilliant. So what sort of gigs have you got lined up then for the future?
So I've got quite a lot coming up this August,
Wow.
and bleeding into September a little bit. So I've got what have I got? Where are we now? So the start of August, I've got a gig in Swaddling Coat at Campfire Trailers, which is a kind of local tap room and a bar. I think that's on the 14th of August, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
And then slightly bigger event on the 27th, which is a Friday night. I'm playing at the Sound House, opening up for Delta Fuse,
oh,
and that's with Casbar Events in Leicester. So
great.
that'll be a great event.
That will.
All tickets and stuff like that are on Facebook on my page and through Casbar.
Brilliant. Oh, and before I forget, your name's Sam Hinds. That's Hinds, isn't it? As opposed to
Yes.
Heinz baked beans or anything like that.
yeah.
Brilliant. Have you been performing? You seem quite young. Have you been performing long?
Thank you for a start. I'll take that as a compliment.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm 26 now, and I've been gigging and playing and singing since I was probably 16. So it's getting on for 10 years, and it's kind of been spread out across various places. I started in Leicestershire and kind of Ibstock and where I grew up, and then I moved off to university and I lived in Lincoln for 3 years. So I played in and around Lincoln city centre, and then I'm now in Melton Mowbray, so I play a little bit in local places, and then still back in Leicester and Nottingham. So a bit spread out, but for quite a while now. Yeah.
And how did you get into it though in the first place, Sam?
Well, I guess I had guitar lessons at a place called the Guitar Workshop in Ibstock, a little village in Leicestershire where I grew up, and it was ran by a guy called Duncan Keith and Darren Jones, who was my teacher, and they put on events every, I think maybe there was 1 or 2 a year, and they did they hired out a hall, and they basically, all their musician friends made a band, and then all the students kind of went up one by one and jumped in and out with the band and did a couple of songs each.
Oh.
So I guess doing those little gigs and events kind of built my confidence a little bit on stage, and taught me a lot about how to sing into a microphone and all those kind of fundamentals. And then I can't remember what my first gig was kind of solo, to be honest. It's probably just in a local pub near where I lived. But yeah, I just started, and then once you start, I guess word of mouth spreads and people ask you to do stuff, and it just snowballs, and then
momentum builds and you can't stop.
Exactly.
Excellent.
But I absolutely love it, and it's an incredible feeling.
So if you'd like to do it as a full-time thing, do you do it in other parts of the country as well now or not?
Gigs.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose just before lockdown, I was doing quite a few up and down different counties and stuff. But obviously lockdown just completely trashed all the dates and events and stuff. So I'm hoping from 2022 next year, I can start afresh and fill my calendar up with dates all across the UK. And I'll be updating on my socials and stuff in line with that. So everything will be available to see.
Excellent.
Coming on the website as well.
How can people find you on socials? Which ones are you on?
So predominantly, I'm on Instagram really, but and Facebook as well, all at Sam Hinds UK. And then I've got a website as well. So that's www.samhindsmusic.co.uk. And on there, I've got kind of updates on new music, my bio, images, tour and gigs as and when they get booked in, and promotional material for EPs and new music that's coming out.
And I can certainly recommend to everybody checking out your Facebook page, because those videos are awesome. And the quality of the sound is amazing as well. You've obviously paid proper attention to get it all sounding right as well.
I tried to, yeah. It's a learning curve.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, thanks very much for chatting to us today, Sam. We're going to play you out now with your third song, Wildflowers. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. Wildflowers is a song about your own personal kind of hideaway and the place you want to go to when you want to escape everything in life and just get a breather and get some headspace. And it's just kind of my homage to that space within myself. And I hope it brings that sense of escapism to people that hear it as well.
Okay, brilliant. So we're about to play Wildflowers. This is your third song from your EP. People can get your EP by looking at your Facebook page and all the rest of that we just mentioned. So thank you very much, Sam. And here's Wildflowers by Sam Hinds.
Out there where the wildflowers grow, and the monks, yeah, grown, and the fields are laced with gold, and the sun hangs low. Out there where the wind wraps a song around my soul. Out there where the twisted rivers flow. Out there I'm free to fall. To where I go when I've lost myself, where I go when I feel like hell, where I go to find some clarity, my outback blue sky remedy. Birds calling as they drift on by, bees buzzing like a neon sign. Fresh air and the kiss of light gets me higher than a Georgia pine. In my hideaway, it's my saving grace. Out in my sweet escape. Oh, in my hideaway. Out there if I cry at night, the sky replies, sends floods, starlight to my eyes. I don't ever wanna say goodbye. To where I go when I've lost myself, where I go when I feel like hell, where I go to find some clarity, my outback blue sky remedy. Birds calling as they drift on by, bees buzzing like a neon sign. Fresh air and the kiss of light gets me higher than a Georgia pine. In my hideaway, it's my saving grace. Out in my sweet escape. Oh, in my hideaway. Lay me down there when I die. Lay me down and close my eyes. My earth, my heart, my heaven, my home is out there where the wildflowers grow. Hideaway, it's my saving grace. Out in my sweet escape. Oh, in my hideaway. Oh, it's my saving grace.
That was me chatting to the ultra-talented singer-songwriter himself, Sam Hinds. Don't forget, it's spelt H-I-N-D for Delta, S for sugar, not Hinds as in baked beans. And his Facebook page is Sam Hinds UK. Don't forget, you can also see him on Saturday the 14th of August at the Campfire Trailer Tap Room Bar in Swadlincote. You can also see him the following Saturday, the 21st of August, where he's in Nottingham at the Backyard Garden Sessions. That sounds nice. And you can also see him the following Friday, Friday 27th of August, supporting Delta Fuse at the Soundhouse Leicester. And that gig's also in our gig diary in sunnymusicinleicester.co.uk. And all the details are in there, as well as lots of other gigs are in our gig diary. Okay, great stuff. Now let's get back to a band who I think sound like our very own version of Iron Maiden. Actually, I think the vocals are very similar to good old Bruce Dickinson's. Here's Diceratops and Ruin's End. That was the wonderful Diceratops and one of their later tracks from last year, Ruin's End. It looks like, looking at their Facebook page, they had their first rehearsal for a while back in May, so hopefully they're going to be jumping out onto the scene, making a big noise, because they were always great to watch as well. That brings us to the end of another live Local and Loud. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, if you want to find out what's on in the local music scene, check out musicinleicester.co.uk. We've got a very handy gig guide there, and you'll also be able to listen to podcasts, online versions of this show, going back through the months, and all the interviews as well we've done. Do look after yourselves, have a great week, and I'll see you 5 o'clock next Thursday here on Hermitage FM.